Hey, good morning. It is 8:15 this morning. Here with us on the morning drive with Craig Wells, who's in for Jamie Lynn. I'm Chuck Hines, and we have with us the Natalie attired, looking great in a good-looking sport coat.
There you go. There
and tie. The head football coach of Texas Tech, Joey McGuire. Good morning, Coach.
How's it going, guys, man? It's great to be on. It's great to be here at Media Day.
You know, we always say, Coach, that we get past the 4th of July and the snowball starts rolling, and you get to Big 12 Media Day, it gets a little bit bigger, and now you just can't stop it. The momentum is headed. When you look at this season for you, does anybody have any higher expectation than you and your team and your staff than in Lubbock, Texas?
You know, I'm excited. I think if you're not wanting to be in this position, there's something wrong with you. I think you're probably coaching for second, third, or whatever you're trying to do. I mean, we feel like we got a great roster. We know there's a lot of expectations. With that comes a great opportunity, and we're excited. But I've been thinking about that question a lot because I start thinking like, Kenny Dillingham, and he's got almost his entire team coming back from a Big 12 champion. So I know there's a lot of expectations on them. K-State's got a dynamic quarterback coming back, and TCU, Baylor's got one of the best offenses, at the end of the season, and I think 9 or 10 of those guys are coming back. And so what's exciting is there's going to be some great football played in the Big 12, and I think we've got a great opportunity as a conference to make a statement.
Coach, I know we've got some really, really good transfer portal kids, but I don't want to take for granted the kids that we have returning that have played, and give us a couple of names that have really had good springs and summers of returning players, because those guys have put in the work.
Yeah, man, thank you for asking that question. The preseason defensive player of the year is Jacob Rodriguez, and he's back, and we saw what he could do whenever he was healthy and played a full season. I'll tell you a kid I'm really excited about is Ben Roberts. I mean, this is a freshman All-American 2 years ago, and, I guess sometimes that sophomore slump is real. I know he didn't have the year that he wanted. I mean, he's 242 pounds right now. He absolutely looks incredible. He looks like Thor, like off the Avengers. I mean, he looks absolutely incredible. So excited about him. And then our two young running backs who had really good bowl games, and Jacoby Williams and Cam Dickey. I mean, those guys had great springs. And so, you're talking about some guys that have come back. And then one other guy that I think is going to surprise some people. He's in the two deep, but I think he can play a lot of positions on the offensive line is Danny Seal, who's a kid that, we recruited that's now year 3. He's a redshirt sophomore, and, usually offensive linemen, whenever they come into year 3 is really when they start coming into themselves and who they're supposed to be as players.
Coach, let's talk about health just a little bit. Give us an update on Baron Morton and Coy Aiken and Caleb Douglas and Reggie Virgil.
Yeah, Reggie, I'll start with Reggie. He's close. He's out of the boot. He's running like he'll run in the underwater treadmill. He's probably a week away from land-based running, like straight ahead running. But we feel really good. I mean, he's a fast healer. That was one thing that Doc said. He really, heals. I mean, everybody heals at different times. So we feel good about him. Coy Aiken's been full tilt all summer. He's been full speed and gone through every football school and looks great. Caleb Douglas, knees 100% back. We haven't ramped him totally up. I mean, we cut his volume in half as far as like how much running he's doing, but he's right on track. And then Baron Morton, man, he's had a great summer. I mean, he participated last week in the Manning Passing Academy. All limits are off on him. He's making every throw. It's pretty cool. It's going to be good for recruiting, but it's great for our quarterbacks. We actually had a group come out and they video and all angles of the quarterback. They show every movement they do. I mean, it's a skeletal all the way through their muscles, all the way out. And it's an NFL. We're only the second college in America that is using this system, and they were really fired up. The quarterbacks were really fired up, and they give them some really good things as far as like Barron and I were talking yesterday. I said, what was the number one thing you learned? And he's like, man, I'm not putting enough pressure on my front foot to get my hips all the way through. And he goes, I never thought of anything like that. But you could see through the skeletal movement, what they were talking about when they were saying he's got to get his foot down faster.
Coach, you've been real bullish on our depth and in talking about health. Which position room do you see a lot of kids playing in?
Yeah, I think the entire defensive line, from the edge, the outside linebackers, all the way through. Because you think about this, I looked up a couple times in the spring, and our twos were our starters last year. I mean, you go in, especially like if you think about the bowl game, and you got Jaden Cofield out there, and you've got Braylon Rigsby, and you got Amir Washington, Charles Esters, and those guys, are in the rotation with the second group because you got Bailey, and you got Romello Height, and you've got Lee Hunter, A.J. Holmes, Skylar Gill Howard. Those guys, I think the depth of that room, D-tackle and outside linebacker-wise, is really, really deep because the outside linebackers, you got Cheto Ofila had a great spring, and then you got Terrell Tillman, who ended up, I think, with 4.5 sacks at the end of the year, really came on at the end of the year. And so you've got a lot of depth in that total defensive line group.
And we're visiting with Coach Joey McGuire as he is at Big 12 Media Days. Our coverage brought to you by Accurate Air, and Jamie Lent and Choice Woodman will have extensive coverage at noon today. Coach, we talked about the guys coming back that you're excited about. Who of the newcomers are you excited the most to see in that first game against Arkansas Pine Bluff on August the 30th?
Yeah, the freshmen have really come in. We had half of them come in mid-year, and the other half came in June. I'll tell you a guy that's going to surprise some people, and I'm not saying, I could see him, we've been really good about getting at least 4 games out of freshmen, especially on special teams, but Bryson Jones has been a big name through the summer as far as he can really run. He's got great ball skills. He's really mature, too, for his age. I mean, he's serious about wanting to be a really good football player, and that's usually, freshmen, they're still trying to figure out, where they're going to eat, and they're trying to figure out, where the science class is and everything like that. And he's coming in, he's really serious about being a good football player.
How about Howard Samson real quick?
Oh, man, a mountain of a man. The guy he's a very unique person too, man. Like he's from Houston, the city of Houston. So you're like, man, this guy's, more into that big city stuff. But, man, he's a big-time hunter. Man, he loves Lubbock. He loves, he and Baron Morton have become really close, and they've gone hunting a couple times, Coy Aiken. And so excited about him. He's the left tackle, and then we've got everybody else can play a lot of different positions, but we'll keep him at left tackle.
Coach, before we let you get away, thank you for being you, and thank you for the way you've gotten them to where we are right now, and I assume that you're real happy with the summer workouts. Yeah,
really excited. I think our strength staff, head by Lance Barlow, has done a great job. I mean, the things that we've asked, right now, we're just loading for camp. Our big deal is we want to be so just in great shape getting ready for camp. And so we're just loading volume for camp. But I feel good about where we're at. Man, I cannot wait to start.
You got about 30 seconds. This season will be a success if
we're back here in Dallas playing in the Big 12 championship.
Amen.
That's got to be there, guys. Got to be there.
Coach, thanks very much. Good luck. We look forward to seeing you all season long, and really appreciate you taking time out with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Wreck 'em.
That's Joey McGuire here with us this morning on the Morning Drive, live from the Star there in Dallas. So you heard it. This will be a success if
I'm glad
back here in Dallas.
I'm glad he's our guy.
I am too. So